Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first annual DDI 365K here at the Brickyard Motor Speedway, Indianapolis, one of the most iconic racetracks on the planet. So it makes all the sense in the world for this to be one of the most important races in this young league's history. This is the second crown jewel of the season, but this race is unlike any other. Not only is it our longest of the season by a pretty large margin, but maybe one of the most challenging and with more on the line than anything else during this regular season, I would say. My name is Zach Panzarella, and I got my tag team partner, Dalton Geyer, the drugstore cowboy, here with me today. How you doing today, Dalton?
I'm doing great. These boys are ready. I have just one question for you, Zach.
What is that?
What is the kilometer?
Oh, man. Oh, you're putting me in the spot this early? Is it 1.3 miles?
It's like 1.3 or 1.6. I don't know.
I'll take it.
Anyway, that's not what's important. These boys today, they want the watch.
They want the watch, and yeah, let's not waste any time showing that thing off, because that is what's at stake here today. We promised when we introduced this league that it would be bringing things that you've never seen before, and this is the type of stuff that we were talking about. This is what these boys are fighting for today, and that is this DDI timepiece, the first of its kind, but not the last, but certainly a very, very special one to win. This will only be available once a year, and it's the only way to win this thing is to win this race here today. So whoever crosses the checkered flag first is going to take home this beautiful 40 millimeter stainless steel rotating bezel Japanese quartz movement watch. It's going to have the custom DDI wreath dial on it. The winner's name will be on the back of it with some race details. It's going to come with a wide variety of bands, and these drivers, they got a sneak peek at the watch in about mid-build last night, and I can tell you right now, they are excited, Dalton. And we've had drivers from other leagues knocking down the door to be in this race, wanting a shot at this watch. We said no. The DDIRL right now is closed doors. Is only available to the guys who have been full-time or at least signed up for this league, especially for a race this big. So we'll see in the future. We'll talk more about that as this race goes on, about the future of this specific race. But all that matters today is we have 19 guys that are going to be vying for this awesome prize here at the DDI 365K. So the longest race of the season today, Dalton, what are you expecting to see?
It's the longest race. It's the longest track. I believe these guys, actually, I probably should have mentioned this. These guys, I believe, have one extra set of tires to account for that extra bit of length. We'll see if they're needed, but yeah, they are there just in case. It's going to be, I believe, if we're looking at the fuel runs, let's do the math here. It should be somewhere around a 3-stopper, right?
Yeah, potentially 4, depending on the amount of yellows we have here today. That's going to really be interesting. If it was to stay green, you'd be about 3 laps short of being able to make it to the checkered flag if you were to not really save.
Okay, yeah, well, I guess that kind of goes along with some of the other races we've seen this year where you're just kind of on that threshold. And, oh, geez, we see Ansel on the wall in the background there. But, yeah, where you're kind of on that threshold, and while I guess you could try to save to make it to the end. That's just you're going to be way off pace at that point. So I think a lot better to figure out, it gives guys a lot of leeway to figure out where they want to place those pit stops, just because that window is just so huge.
Yeah, and the fall off has been dramatic. So far in practice, we are seeing upwards of 2 seconds by the time you're to about lap 10 even. 15, you're definitely in that 2-second delta in terms of old tires. And these are going to be about what we're expecting, 23-ish fuel runs if they were to run it dry. So, man, it happens quick. Before we head into qualifying, let's take a look at our standings going into this race. And so this is with what we've talked about, which is that drop race taking effect. So this is with that. And so that did mix things up quite a bit. Not too much up top, but in the middle, we really saw things change a lot. I'm looking at Steve Kirby now in 7th place. But Zach Panzarella is still the points leader. It's been that way for the majority of this season. Cody Matthews getting our first win. But since then, it's been really mostly about Panzarella up top. He is last week's winner, getting it done over at California Speedway. Alex Hillman, which is a very consistent run of races here right now as well. He's had 3 podiums in a row, Dalton. So Hillman going to be looking to keep that momentum up. He's been rewarded for that, currently sitting in second. Close behind is Patrick Cowgill here today. I'm going to have my eye on that 31 truck. Always fast at these type of trucks. Cody Matthews, who won the first ever DDIRL race at Daytona, still sitting in 4th place, and then 20 points back until you get to Dan Sanchez in 5th. And then if the chase was the start today, Tommy Fox would be the last car in over in 10th place with a 6-point advantage over Graham McGivern.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking back up towards the top there at Hillman and Cowgill. You mentioned Hillman with the 3 podiums in a row, but actually our last 2 races, we've seen the same 2-3 on that podium in Alex Hillman and Patrick Cowgill. So yeah, both those guys, there's going to be 2 guys who are really hungry to finally get that win that they've been looking for.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Those are 2 guys that I've had on my list and really looking at to see what they can get done in these upcoming races. I'm sure would love to have a win and the bonus points that come with that available to them as they get towards this chase. I'm sure they've already bookmarked themselves in the chase and booked their ticket. As we have moved into qualifying, currently on screen is Zach Panzarella. He was last week's winner, like we said, but also the pole sitter. Panzarella has, I'll get the standings there, guys, this way, I'm sorry. Panzarella has the most poles this season so far, but there's been a lot of different characters up front. We've seen a lot of different guys getting it done through the way of qualifying. So we'll see today. These guys also today, Dalton, they have a shorter qualifying time available to them. Only a 5-minute qualifying session today instead of the 10 minutes you guys are normally used to. This race already so long, the league admins decided to throw them a bone and make qualifying a tad bit shorter. So on screen right now, Cody Gibson. This is a guy I'm gonna have my eye on today, Dalton.
Yeah, he's been really fast. The last few weeks here, just ran into trouble last week. I think he got into the wall in out of turn turn 1, lap 1 at Auto Club. Then let's see what happened at Chicago.
It was Iowa where he pretty much dominated as well, and just was on the wrong side of strategy. Chicago,
yeah, I think maybe just
Gibson, I don't
know. I think, or yeah, maybe didn't. No, I think he was there. I think just maybe didn't have that same kind of pace. I think also ran into trouble there, but yeah, Iowa just kind of the miscues with the pit strategy. But we've seen that he's a guy with a lot of raw speed, and we're going to be looking for him towards the front today again.
Talking about raw speed, this 14 Delgado has been showing a great amount of raw speed lately. Has not been able to put together a race. We'll see if today is that day. Early, great qualifying effort from Delgado. We'll see if that holds up as more guys continue to put in their laps. And this new paint scheme, but same fast driver, Stephen Kirby, he is here today. He already has a win. He put a beat down on the field over at the Chicago street course. We are going to have to see what he does today, and I'm not sure who remembers, but he also did get it done over during one of the exhibition races, so he'll be a guy we have our eye on. Another guy that I feel may be overdue for a win or at least a top 3 finish, this guy right here, Mark Zab.
Yeah, for sure. We've been missing him the last couple weeks. Yeah, definitely always look for him up towards that kind of top 5 area. We'll see if the cards fall in the right place to get him that W today.
And we see Beckman currently on screen. Beckman putting in another start here. He has been very consistent this season, knocking on the door of a chase spot. Sure looking for a great finish here today. Speaking of much like that, Danny Sanchez, he is really right there in the midst of it in the points right now. Needs a good finish here today to, I think, kind of solidify himself where I think he thinks he belongs. Sanchez has had a lot of speed this season. And again, it's going to be only him, not Case of Beer today, so it'll be easy to spot that 62 truck. We won't have to worry about an identical looking truck out here with him.
Yeah, only one Game Bridge car, which I believe this is their home track too.
Oh, that's very cool.
They got the Game Bridge Field House down the street, and wherever the Pacers play. They're in Indianapolis, right?
I think so. I don't at the risk of sounding stupid. I believe so. Should know that based on how much of a fan I want to call myself for that team after that run they just went on. R.I.P. Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, right.
Ryan Newman with a good-looking paint scheme here today. I think he thinks we're Miami, but no reason not to bring that energy here.
Yeah, what's it called? No Macho Man today, but still looking slick in that Miami Vice scheme.
Maybe it was our impressions. He's like, I can't let that happen again. I gotta have to change the paint scheme. The green chrome looking good for Brandon Ybarra today.
I'm liking that. It's
break that draft.
Subtle. Yeah.
Ghost car. Qualifying will be coming to a conclusion here soon.
Yeah, don't knock it till you try it, you know.
30 seconds.
Oh yeah. Ooh, I have audio chat on. We do not need to hear that profanity, do we, Dalton?
Oh wow.
Sorry for the behind the scenes look at my setup, guys. They just saw my cheat in my grip codes, or whatever they call it, grip hacks.
Grip hacks, yeah.
Yep, they saw them all. Lolis was having some connection issues leading up to this race. Just barely got in here. A couple guys actually today, victim of that. Looks like a Geyer, one of those guys who really needs a good finish to solidify himself in the chase. Not able to get into this race in time with technical issues. It looked like that could have been the same case for Lolis. I'm also seeing the same thing, I think, for Tommy Fox having technical issues. So this was almost a field of 20, but not quite due to some technical issues from our drivers. But we're going to make do with what we have. And before we do anything else, let's take a look at this qualifying grid, Dalton. So, putting on the pole today for the second week in a row is going to be Zach Panzarella. Panzarella, our pole sitter last week at California. We'll see what he's able to do. Last week, he was able to get the win from there. But he'll be sharing the front row with the same guy he did last week, and that is Cody Gibson. Cody Gibson with a really good lap as well. He's going to be in second place. In the second row, we got Patrick Cowgill over in third. And then with an unbelievable qualifying effort, best of the season for Juan Delgado. We talked about him pre-race and how much speed he's been showing. Look at that for Delgado. Great job there. Next up, we have Steve Kirby over in fifth place. He also showed up late to practice, but he didn't need too much. Steve Kirby, keep your eye on that 109. Sixth place belonged to Colton Easterday. Seventh, Brendan Lolis. Eighth, Alex Hillman. Ninth, Cody Matthews. And round the top 10, Brandon Ybarra.
Then we look down at 11th. We got Christopher Cowgill. Down in 12th, we have Graham McGivern. 13th, Danny Sanchez. 14th, Mark Zab. 15th, Dylan Beckman. 16th, Ryan Newman. 17th, Glenn Grigsby not setting a time. And Tommy Fox as well down in 18th. Also not setting a time.
And that actually is going to make up this entire field for the first ever DDI 365. I was mistaken. I thought it was 19, but it actually appears to be 18. But there we go. So Panzarella, third pole of the season. And that's a bigger deal today than even other days, Dalton. Another stipulation of these crown jewel races is that it's double bonus points. So Zach Panzarella will take home, not bonus points, I'm sorry, for that pole itself, but that does put you in a good situation to lead the first lap of this race. And that will earn Panzarella extra bonus points if he's able to do that. But we have time this week to do this, Dalton, and it's the DDI 365. So you know we had to bring our boy down here to get these engines started.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
You can tell that Kevin James knows this is a big one. He knows the importance of this race for these drivers. There's a watch on the line. There's bragging rights on the line. There's double bonus points on the line. And you get to call yourself the first ever DDI 365 winner if you take home this checkered flag. I have been looking forward to this race all season, Dalton.
Actual watch going on your wrist if you win it. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. You know, it's not often that, you know, in the virtual racing you get something real that's going to go with you. You know, you get that kind of the bragging rights normally, but you're going to get like an actual physical sign that you are the GOAT.
Exactly, and you'll always know what time it is with that thing. So a lot on the line. Love how much these drivers have gotten excited about it and stoked to see how hard they race for this track, Dalton. It has gotten so hot throughout practice, throughout qualifying, and now in the race. We are up a full 20 degrees on track from where we were over in practice. So these guys, they got to be careful setting in here through 1 and 2. It's going to be loosey-goosey for all these drivers. But here we go, pace car getting ready to pull off and get these boys underway for the first ever DDI 365K here at Indianapolis at the Brickyard. It'll be Zach Panzarella getting the pole with Cody Gibson over on the outside. And here we go, green flag. Panzarella going to lead these guys into turn 1. A good start for Panzarella, better than last week. Gibson also, though, probably thinking about what happened last week when he got loose. So we'll see these guys go side by side, and this is a tough track to go side by side through these corners, Dalton. So these guys likely to try to get single file the quickest they can. Panzarella going to take the lead early.
Yeah, and that launch is crucial. Panzarella got a great launch there from the pole, and now down the backstretch is going to be about shaking that draft. Although he's actually just going to kind of stay in line here. Cowgill, Gibson, and Panzarella kind of breaking away here to start this.
And here we go. We already see some side-by-side action throughout the field. Cody Matthews looking the inside of Ybarra, and you can see right there, Ybarra able to make the outside work, putting the squeeze on Matthews, and now just like that, we are single file all the way through this field. These guys selling it early, trying to get a feel for the temperature on this racing surface as well as their competitors. This is a long race, Dalton, and you've got to treat this thing like a marathon.
Yeah, I think one thing we're going to see, just as the nature of this track, we're going to see these packs kind of break up as guys go for moves here, as guys have to go side by side down the straightaways. Because once you're side by side and you don't have that draft and you're kind of pulling the parachute on each other, it allows the rest of that pack in front of you to start breaking away.
It really does. And side-by-side racing, like I said, so much slower. Sanchez going to duck to the inside of Hillman here, and we'll see how hard Hillman wants to fight this. And it looks like Hillman's going to go side-by-side with Sanchez to 3 and 4. And Sanchez does a great job completing that pass. And that is one thing that, like we just said, you've got to really be mindful of here. You want to make those passes quick whenever they are available to you. You don't want to be side-by-side for longer than you have to. You can even see right there, Hillman losing the run down the stretch and really already dealing with Chris Calgill right behind him.
You know, we talked about getting loosey-goosey as this track heats up. But these guys, they want to be careful they don't get tight and just smack the wall out of the corners, as so often happens around here.
And here we go. You see Cody Gibson. He is getting some brilliant runs out of 2 on Panzarella, but just not showing any sense of urgency for the pass itself. Content to push him down these front and back stretches. Really what it's doing is separating those 2 from the rest of the pack. If this thing was to stay green somehow, that would be a big benefit for these 2 drivers. But also, I think the draft's going to play a big impact on gas mileage here today as well. Maybe Gibson thinking about that right now.
Yeah, I think that's the main priority right now, is maybe kind of saving that extra lap of gas. If he can tuck in here for this whole kind of first 20 lap or so run, he's going to save a lot of gas. And also, you know, if you're pulling out, you want that distance so that when you do pull out to make that move, you don't have the guys back in 3rd or 4th to interrupt that. As you know, we saw kind of a similar thing when Panzarella and Geyer were going at it at Pocono, trying to get that gap before going for that move.
Right, you kind of have to work together if you want to keep the race in control. It's much easier when it's 2 teammates like it was with Geyer and Panzarella who were able to communicate. Gibson, a member of Backpack Racing, Panzarella, a member of Daily Drivers Inc. These 2 on rival teams. So while they're not working together, Gibson, I think, thinking about the long haul of this race, we've seen that number 5 truck just be lights out fast every time he's shown up, but just has not had the luck or the strategy to show for it or get the finish to show for it. And what it also looks like Gibson is doing is just really trying to poke his nose in there every now and again, get Panzarella out of his line, maybe try to make that pass easier for himself when and if he decides to do that.
Yeah, that line around there, you can see not much push, not much looseness out of Gibson. It's a real cool, calm and collected at this point. Kind of letting Panzarella have that distance on entry to make that corner, and just he knows, I think, that if he lets this go on, eventually the tires might catch up
Exactly, and Gibson also just seems to be wrapping that bottom a good amount better than the 12 truck is. Really able to hug the bottom, get all the way down to that white line, sometimes even getting his left sides below it. As you can see here, Panzarella just not able to get the bottom like Gibson is. Gibson really using those rear tires, as you can tell by that loose sensation it's looking like he has. And he is just brilliant through 1 and 2, which seems to be a set of corners that Zach is struggling with. And here Gibson goes looking to the inside for first place.
Panzarella not going to have any help behind too to kind of push him clear. It's just going to be a heads-up battle here. Gibson probably going to be able to complete this pass. Panzarella a little bit of fight back on the outside here.
Panzarella trying to put the
See
squeeze
how
on
they go through 4.
the beneficial lane available to the 5, and tight goes the 12 with a graze of the wall. I'm sure we'll see that a few times today, but that's the first real one we saw there, and it was the pole sitter, as Gibson is going to take the lead and then some, already a 0.3 second lead as they enter turn 1.
And look who's been moving through the pack right now, all the way up to 3rd already. It's Lawless back there, Gibson's teammate, back in 3rd.
Yeah, Lois with an abbreviated qualifying due to those technical issues, so I'm sure not able to get as much time on track as he would have liked, or as good of a qualifying session as he would have liked, but he is clearly showing how much speed that 83 truck has in it. And we've kind of seen that this season. I'm thinking about Iowa right now. When Gibson was lights out fast, so was that 83 truck, controlling that whole race until the bitter end. But wow, I mean, not a surprise. That team, they just seem to have it dialed in together. And look, right behind them, you see Steve Kirby and Calgill going at it.
Ooh, yeah, it looks like... No, it looks like that's yeah, Kirby and is well, spiritually his teammate Easter Day now diving it in on Kirby here to get into that top 5.
Yeah, he's doing a great job there, Kirby is. And Kirby is always one of those guys that I'm keeping my eye on throughout the course of the run to see how he's going to improve. He's always one of those dangerous cars on the long runs. It's so hard to make that guy burn his stuff up. So keep your eye on that 109. You also see Calgill currently sitting 3rd in points, doing a great job maintaining that 4th place. Behind him, you have earlier race winner of this season, the Corn 150 winner of Colton Easterday, and then the week after's winner of Steve Kirby.
I see things a lot more spread out than I would have expected here, at least among the top 6 or so. You see Delgado starting to drop back. He's back to 8th already, with Ibarra coming up through the field, maybe trying to join his backpack teammates up there towards the front.
Yeah, you see.
He takes. Oh, I don't know if he missed the corner there or what that was, but
a low entry there for Delgado is kind of what I saw. Maybe just a little bit out of sorts as he starts to get passed by a few cars. I mean, we talked about this during practice. Around this time, around lap 10, is when I think you really start to see the tires start to matter, the deltas start to form, and a inexperienced but raw fast driver like Delgado, I think, is who you would usually point to see the biggest example of that.
Yeah, and I was more looking at Ibarra, who ran high into one, so I'm not sure if that was intentional or not.
Yeah, interesting. We'll have to see. I mean, also, I think it's an interesting question to ask, because another thing that is so brutal at this racetrack, I think throughout the practices and the AI races that a lot of us did to prepare for this big one, was the dirty air. As you see Hillman get in the wall on the top of your screen. Alex Hillman with the graze of the wall right there. Oh boy, that 08 having a rough first run, maybe with some damage already. But that dirty air at this racetrack, the lack of banking, it just creates a brutal situation for these drivers. And that could be it. That could be why you saw Ibarra want that outside lane.
Yeah, and talk about Hillman back there. He's kind of in no man's land right now with this 4-car draft starting to form in front of him. And, you know, they're just going to be able to pull away down these straights as that continues to develop. And
you're starting to see some little mini battles form here everywhere that isn't Cody Gibson, because he's just running away with this thing already. But look at Colton Easterday. Going to look to the inside of Calgill here. We'll see if Easterday is able to complete this pass. Easterday, such an improved driver on the long run, and shown it here. Calgill, you just used to just be able to embarrass these drivers specifically on these long runs, and these guys have taken lessons from that 31, and they're applying them right now. What a great pass by Colton Easterday to move into 4th place.
Great pass by Easterday, and great job by Cowgill to kind of cover off that second car coming through in Kirby, as it kind of looked like both those guys, those teammates were going to kind of get the 2-for-1 there on Cowgill, but Cowgill able to stop that move from taking place.
Then in front of them, we now have a backpack racing 1-2 as Lillis makes the pass on Panzarella, so he's going to move into 2nd place.
Oh, we got some weaving. Back
yes,
there.
We do.
For 8th, I believe. That's Delgado.
Loose out the corner, and look at Kirby, actually. He's going to look to the inside of Cowgill here. And they're going to come out side by side, it looks like. Whoa! Delgado loose on the top of your screen. F14 has his hands full, Dalton.
Yes, strange moment. I'm not sure what happened there, but I was more looking at the cars that are starting to run kind of up in that middle lane into turn 1. We'll take a closer look at it next time around, I think. But I'm just kind of wanting to see, is that intentional or is that just guys missing corners, as Delgado now getting passed by Cody Matthews, just able to hold off Sanchez there for 9th.
You're starting to see these loose moments on the exits of the corners here, as well as some draft breaking. You're seeing it right there on the bottom of Cowgill. That's Ybarra. And Ybarra is going to complete the pass. Man, a few of these drivers, the non-DDI guys specifically, they did their homework on the long run. These guys have been patient, and they've been conservative, and they are getting the fruits of their labor right now, because they are just carving through the field. You have Gibson and Lillis up to 2nd place. Ybarra making good work of the field. And then you have Panzarella falling back, actually, to Easterday. Easterday just showing tons of speed here in this long run. And here he goes, the Golden Octopus driver, going to look to the inside. And Kirby... Uh-oh.
What happened?
Kirby...
Oh, is he gone?
Gone. He's gone.
Is he coming back?
We'll have to see about that, but Kirby is not back. We'd see him by now. He has moved to the bottom of our pylon. Another technical issue here in Indianapolis. Wow. I'm not sure if he's on the top of the screen there. Chris Cowgill with an ultra loose moment. These guys are struggling on the exits of these corners, but we'll see with Kirby. I'm going to try to put my screen on him, and there's nothing there, Dalton. Kirby not out here. Panzarella into the wall. Delgado, his teammate, into the wall. A synchronized DDI hit. Panzarella and Delgado with some healthy wall hits there. Both of them, we'll see how much damage that did. It allowed Easterday to get by Panzarella, so Easterday going to move into a podium position. Our pole sitter burning his stuff up, clearly showing that he had that single lap speed to put himself at that starting position, but nothing else so far. Panzarella bleeding positions. Next up is Ybarra, and we've already talked about his long run speed.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you look at this leaderboard and you see 3 of these backpack guys up in the top 5. You got the top 2 is this backpack team. Ibarra now in the top 5. Sanchez down in 8th, trying to make up some spots here. We might just see these guys do what they did at Iowa.
I'm getting some Iowa vibes for sure right now. Different track, sure.
Again, missing the corner.
Yeah, Panzarella very, very much struggling through 1 and 2. It's bizarre about this place, Dalton. As far as I know, they're identical, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But my goodness, do they feel different. I, throughout practice, was able to get 1 and 2 down. I'm sorry, get 3 and 4 down. I felt the fastest of the whole field through 3 and 4. But when it came to 1 and 2, I was a chicken with my head cut off. And I think you're seeing different situations across this field in terms of where people are more comfortable. But it blows my mind. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Are these corners not identical? I don't know why they feel so different.
They certainly look identical, but I think I don't know. I'm seeing guys take different approaches. With turn 1, I'm seeing guys take more of a late apex approach, kind of going in higher to kind of counteract that tightness out into that second little straightaway. But then in 3 and 4 and into turn 3, I'm seeing these guys just kind of run it straight.
And another thing that I think is kind of a bizarre thing about this track, and we'll ride on board with Cody Gibson to kind of explain this point. And what I think it is, Dalton, is most of the tracks we go to, I mean, the 90% of them, right, were built for NASCAR. So their braking points, where the lights are, where the 1s, the 2s, the 3s on the fence are for your braking points. This track was not designed with NASCAR in mind. Not anywhere near in mind. They were not thinking about it at all. So look here, as you see Gibson. I mean, maybe Gibson's not a good example because he's so damn good. Maybe we'll just use Panzarella as someone who we know is struggling here, and listen to how much off-throttle time that is. But also, there's no real visual indicator. And what we always kind of joke about on Team Daily Drivers Inc. is when you don't have one, you're kind of going off vibes. This is a hard track to vibe off of, Dalton, and I think that's part of it too. It's so hard to find those visual indicators because this track was not designed for us. They don't care.
And it's really hard to, I don't know, that wall just kind of jumps out at you off of 1 and 3 to an extent too. So it's really easy to get on the gas too early and the car tightens up and it's, too late for you to really do anything about it, and you just go straight in that wall.
Yeah, I completely agree. It does often feel like at this track when you realize that you've gone in too deep, it's already far too late. One of the brutal things about this place, I mean, I think it's the lack of banking, right? Such a flat track, so brutal. You see how much wheel, we're on board with Colton Easterday right now. You see how much wheel he has to apply to 1 and 2 to get through these corners, and just the amount of off throttle. Starting to use that curb and even the grass a tiny bit to break loose that truck and make it easier to turn. I can understand that level of desperation. I think a lot of these people, or a lot of these drivers here, far beyond that. Right here, easier braking point. I, during practice, was using that little Indianapolis logo on the right wall. And right here, once again, Dalton, vibes.
Yeah, our guys going just kind of flat out through 2 and 4? Or is it kind of, is there a little bit off throttle?
You're not letting off. You're not, well, how do I explain this? You're not letting all the way off. As you see right here. You are, actually that's 1, I'm sorry. You're about, on a new tire run, you're 80% to 100. On cold tires, like you're seeing yesterday right now, you're probably going to dial it back down to about 20 to 40. These trucks, though, just seem to be a tiny bit easier to make turn when you don't have to stomp back on the throttle after a full off at this point in the run. Also, we've talked a lot about this with this new tire model. I think we're at that evening out point, probably about 3 to 4 laps until we're going to start to see these guys bring it down. And, I mean, I think at this point you have to start expecting it a little bit, Dalton, as well. It's looking like another largely green race here at the DDIRL, so you've got to start already doing math in your head when it comes to fuel.
Yeah, I think just looking down the order for updates, yeah, it looks like Kirby is...
He is back.
Is back.
There he is.
It looks like Grigsby went a lap down. I wonder if he decided to come in a little early.
Oh, and Zabik into the wall. Let's take another look at that real quick. I apologize in advance. And just like Pocono, Dalton, misleadingly difficult. Oh, into the wall.
Into the wall.
Big hit by Zab.
God, that's...
Oh, and he misses the cones.
The wheel's broken.
Wait, is he gonna... Oh, no, he doesn't miss the cones. That is not a penalty. So, I mean, if you're gonna destroy the wall, you might as well do it there, right?
Are we still green off of that?
We are still green. We're gonna stay green off that. That was, I guess, considered off surface by the iRacing officials. So we are going to stay green. And funny thing is, even looking at Cody Gibson, fastest truck on the track by a big margin right now, you almost think we're not, right? With how much these guys have slowed down at this point in the run. These laps right now from Cody Gibson are about 2 seconds slower than when we went green here. And look at these leads.
Well, you know what? I think Lolis actually has been kind of cutting into that lead. He was, I think, like a 1.5 seconds back, now down to, or, brought it down as low as, I think, 0.7 or 0.8 off of that corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he actually is doing a good job. And we saw this last time, too, that Lolis at the very, very nitty-gritty of the runs did have the speed, so we'll keep our eye on that. Gibson, I mean, the thing that I've seen about Gibson, except for Turn 1, Lap 1 at California Speedway, a pretty much flawless driver. So we'll have to see if he's going to get that mistake. But yeah, wow, look at that. 0.3 seconds down that straightaway. Lolis was able to make up right there on Gibson. So Lolis showing tons of muscle on the latter end of this run. Again, I'm expecting maybe 1 or 2 more laps from these guys before we start to see a few of them bring it down. We'll have to keep our eye on this exit here. Top 4, top 5 gonna stay out.
And I think Easter Day kind of starting to come into the picture too.
A little bit.
Looks like that gap is starting to go down a little bit here.
And
yeah,
here
so
it
maybe
is.
Gibson actually starting to fall off a little bit. If we're seeing the rest of this pack, these front guys start to close up on him.
That lead is shrinking considerably, Dalton. So we'll have to see when Gibson wants to bring it down. Is this stressing him out? Again, I believe, and I'm going to double check. Gibson, he's on here somewhere, isn't he? Well, I know he's backpack. And where is Lolis?
Very bottom, yeah.
Oh, Gibson is going to bring it down.
Oh,
so
there
yeah.
he goes.
So Gibson, yeah, I think seeing that speed that Lolis has, and what he's also going to do is going to give Lolis a lap lead. Whoa, that guy just scared the living hell out of me. He's going to give Lolis a lap lead. So that's big for Lolis here at this Crown Jewel race. That's double bonus points for Lolis. And that he looks like Gibson's not the only one. I think I see Danny Sanchez. I do. That's Danny Sanchez. Bring it down as well. Behind him, I see a few others. I see Graham McGivern and Juan Delgado. Delgado taking damage during that. I think this may be a fast repair for Delgado. We saw him just really kind of start to fall down the field. That was not even indicative of burning up your tires. So we'll have to keep our eye on that 14 truck. But I'm expecting the rest of the field to come down these next handful of laps here. We'll see how much longer Lolis wants to push this. Because again, Dalton, we got 2-second deltas we're talking right now. You don't want to stay out here longer than you have to.
I'm kind of surprised to see Panzarella still out there with,
Oh, here he comes.
you know, he hit the wall a couple times yeah, now probably a little bit hard on the brake there. Here comes, yeah, we're gonna see pretty much everybody who didn't come. Oh, except for, let's see, who is that? Is that
looks like Cody Matthews
that's
going to stretch
Cody
this.
Matthews staying out. Wow, had an extra lap of gas in the tank, I guess.
So yeah, Cody Matthews. And I think what's also so important about that is just where you were in the field. It takes so much more gas if you lose that draft. It's almost similar to somewhere like Daytona or Talladega, where you can use 4 or 5 more laps of gas per run if you're not taking advantage of that draft. So definitely something that could have been advantageous to Matthews, as he is going to get to lead a lap here, it looks like. And you see Graham McGivern behind him. He is on fresh tires. McGivern has completed his pit stop. So Matthews going to bring it back around here. Newman stretching this one as well, as is Dylan Beckman in the 17.
Looks like you can see Grigsby up there unlapping himself. I think he might have just been the first car to bring it down.
And here comes Lolis.
That spits him out in front of McGivern as well.
It does. So a lot of interesting things happening through these pit stops, as you see Gibson with that virtue of an earlier pit stop able to gap Lolis quite a bit more than he previously was. That was a half-second lead. Now it's well over a second and a half. I mean, like we talked about, that's to be expected. Cody Matthews going to bring it down the pits this time around, as is Ryan Newman. So that's going to do it for this cycle, unless Dylan Beckman can make it one more lap. And we'll see Beckman bring it back around this time. And Beckman's as well looks like he's going to pit. So that is going to do it for this cycle. Cody Matthews is going to re-inherit the lead of this race as we're getting closer to our stage end. That will be at the completion of lap 46 at this bizarrely lapped race. 91, not really a half lap we could use there, so we went with 46. We'll see who takes that home, and there's going to be some interesting implications, I believe, in terms of when these guys want to pit in relativity to stage points.
Yeah, looking down at the order here, looks like these front two guys. Yeah, looks like Gibson gains a good couple seconds on Lolis, and both those guys gained a few seconds on Easter Day. A lot of different, Panzarella back 11 seconds at this point. So these pit stops really spread things out.
Flawless execution by Gibson in the 5. You can just tell how well he got on and off pit road. You also saw Ybarra just absolutely using up all of that pit exit space available to you. I was doing that in practice, Dalton, and I was using as much as Ybarra did, but I did not have the balls to do it in the race. I did not want that black flag. Ybarra, I'm sorry, that wasn't Ybarra. I'm sorry, that was Lolis. Lolis not scared about that, so Lolis also doing a great job, and you're seeing both of them being rewarded for that. He has 3 seconds over Easter Day, so that separation really starting to form on the top end of our running order. Towards the middle, you still see a little bit of clustering. You see Panzarella, Calgill, and Sanchez within 2 seconds of one another. And then also you have to go only a couple spots back. You get to Hillman, and behind him you have Grigsby and a Givern very close to each other.
Well, Zach, we're at the point of the race. Do you want to crank it up?
Let's do this thing. That was a fun crank it up here, and what you see during that, just how much these guys are hauling the mail around these places, especially with these newer tires. No one quite like Cody Gibson right there. Woof, look at that. Just painting the white line are these top drivers right here. You also see Ybarra has moved his way up to 4th place, getting past Panzarella. So Ybarra, really all that team doing a fantastic job laying down the law right now.
Yeah, he's about to legit lap a car.
And yeah, he is. That is crazy. He is. And we might see more of that. Oh, Newman in the wall. Oh, big hit for the 15.
Oh, no.
And Newman stops on the track, and that does do it. That brings out our first yellow of the race.
Wow. Off the racing surface, but I guess the iRacing stewards decided that still going to warrant a caution.
Must have been the stopped on the racetrack. I know it didn't even look worse than the first one, but yeah, we'll have to see if these guys want to take tires here. First caution of the race. Like we talked about, 5 sets available to them. This league designed for these guys to really not have to think about tires. Because let's be honest here, Dalton. If we're here for the NASCAR Cup Series in real life, they're getting 14 sets of tires. So, if it's a sim, they should get 5 for a 91 lap race.
I want to point something out here. That caution was favorable to 2 guys in particular. Number 1, Dylan Beckman in the 17, who was probably under threat of being lapped
and
there, but also number 109, Stephen Kirby, who's going to be the lucky dog, and he's about to be back on the lead lap despite the technical difficulties.
Yep. Stephen Kirby loses connection, makes a beeline back to the session, and 1 lap down to be rewarded for his efforts, because also that happened around lap 14, so I think Kirby just never pit, ran that thing long. I'm assuming when you lose connection, they probably just gassed him up and swapped out a set of tires anyway, so he was likely fast on track, never pit, got 1 lap back that way, and now I think he may be rewarded and be on the lead lap. So no harm, no foul, as we are 30% of this race.
This is going to be interesting, just with where this caution falls. How many of these guys want to sacrifice another tire set right now?
Smoke them if you got them, my friend.
It's only been
8 laps.
They're only 7 or 8 laps. Some of these guys only 5 laps on these tires. So we'll see who wants to sacrifice the track position here.
Here we go. Cody Gibson, will it be a fake? Will it be a real? Not even playing games is the 5
Everybody.
thing. Everybody. So now that we know what's going on here, let's do something real quick that we didn't get the chance to do in that thriller at California Speedway last week, and no cautions. This is the only caution we've had in probably 4 hours of airtime, Dalton. And that is the newest Daily Drivers Inc. car show that was recently announced, and this will be held in Oxnard, California, kind of like the Ventura area, about 50 miles north of Los Angeles. For those who don't know what Oxnard is, gorgeous city, beach city, and this is one of our favorite shows of the year, Mr. Drugstore Cowboy. I love this one, not only because it's at my favorite brewery in the world, Casa Agria, and we get to release a custom beer every year, so there'll be a Daily Drivers Inc. / Casa Agria collaboration IPA, which is always a blast to provide to all of our fans and all of the amazing cars that make up our shows. But just because the vibes at this show, why it's called 805 Vibes, are just as good as they get. Great cars, beautiful venue, the best beer you'll ever drink. And if you're not a beer person, they got sours, they got seltzers, they got everything you could ever want over at Casa Agria. Delicious food, and we're gonna have a full-on concert this year. We'll be announcing the lineup, but I'll tell you right now, it's some of the biggest bands and brightest bands in the 805 area that are gonna put on an absolute incredible show. So if you are in the California area or want a beautiful vacation in an incredible area, don't miss this one, 805 Vibes. You can check it out at 805carshow.com. And that's where you can register your car if you're a car guy and you would like to show your car. That's where you can do that. But if you just want to check this out as a spectator, meet a lot of the guys in the other side of this company, Daily Drivers Inc. You get to meet me, Zach Panzarella, Juan Delgado, the California Daily Drivers Inc. lead on the car show side of things as well. We'll get Dalton Geyer on the car show side one day as well, and you'll get to meet him there. But going to be a great time, and it's free for spectators, so completely free to come if you just want to see some beautiful cars, drink some great beer, and hang out. So check out 805 Vibes 4, the 4th edition of this really, really fun show, and that's going to be happening on September 28th from 12 to 6 p.m. at Casa Agria Specialty Ales at Oxnard, California. Stoked for that event, Dalton. Always a great time, and also usually responsible for some pretty good paint schemes, which we'll be seeing soon.
Oh, for sure. You make one for me too?
Yeah. Everyone wants a pink car.
You know it. But yeah. Great. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun out there. If you bring a car, you're probably gonna win a trophy.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, bring a cool car, win a cool trophy. Or if you just want to show up, Or if you just want to show up, grab a beer, look around, be like, hey, that's a cool car. Hey, there's another cool car. Hey, there's another cool car. You can do that as well.
It's like you've been to these things before.
Right?
It's amazing. So again, we have a mix-up of the running order here, Dalton. There's 2 Cowgills in this league, and that's not third place in points leading this race. That is his brother, Chris Cowgill, a very formidable driver, someone who is, I think, knocking on the door of a chase spot, if not already in one. Oh, he is knocking on that door. He's knocking hard. If he's able to lead a lap, which I'm sure he actually probably already did under yellow here. So Chris Cowgill is going to be leading the field to green. And also, this is the first race where DDIRL is introducing lane choice. This is news to you, Dalton. For the leader, Cowgill requesting it over the radio just now, and it was granted. So Cowgill choosing the outside lane. I mean...
How'd they manage this, by the way? They didn't stay out, right?
They stayed out.
Was it a fuel? Oh, they did stay out.
Yep. They have 5 to 6, or 6, and so Beckman with 6 lap older tires and Cowgill with 7. Nothing can go wrong.
I don't think anything will go wrong.
So yeah, it's going to be the outside lane as the control car. That is Chris Cowgill. And he already has a nice little jump. That restart zone is pretty far. There it is right there, that white line. We'll see when Cowgill wants to launch. Waiting. And there he goes. Watch out for that tire spin on those old tires. Even on those new tires, it's only gotten hotter. And Cody Gibson, he has to be patient here, as does Ybarra. You got those old tires. What's going to happen here?
See Lawless around the outside following Cowgill through. Just wants to get clear so he can make that move. Oh, Beckman.
Blinky goes Beckman.
In and out. But Beckman
Lawless in the wall.
Lawless in the wall.
Lawless left the wall. Big
Gibson's
checkups.
Push Beckman clear up towards the front.
Scrambling this entire field.
In and out, looking for clean air.
And those old tire cars doing everything they can to survive. Beckman doing a masterful job. He may get to lead a lap here, trying to hold off Cody Gibson for one more lap. We'll see if he's able to do that. It looks like he should be able to. Dylan Beckman's gonna get, oh boy, we might have a photo finish for this one.
Big move to the inside there.
We
come to the line.
Beckman leads the lap.
Beckman.
So 2 points for Beckman. Big move from Dylan. And yeah, Lolis, who I can't stop calling Ybarra, and I apologize for that. Lolis with a big hit in the wall, and look behind here. Oh my goodness.
Oh, what a save.
Sanchez every which way, getting loose, gets back in line. Panzarella looking the inside. You can see cars up against the wall.
Just a hornet's nest back there.
This is what old tires will do to a group.
Yeah.
Can't put any blame on Cowgill here.
Cowgill falling back, but still, that move paid dividends for both of those guys. They both got to lead a lap.
Especially for Beckman, but you're right. The bonus points race, a crown jewel race. I think mission accomplished for Cowgill. He was not running where I think he would be wanting to anyway, and we've seen Cowgill do that before, and we've seen it work out for him. That pass was completed by, oh my goodness, by Cody Gibson. You can see just how big that lead already is. Ybarra as well has moved into second place, and that's actually Ybarra, not Lolis. Again, I'm sorry to both of you guys. Ybarra, he has been showing speed all day, and you see right behind there, Beckman, those old tires catching up to the 17.
Yeah, looked like a little bit of a hit there, just not able to keep it down low. Now just kind of trying to stay out of the way of these fresh tires, I think. Kind of give them a lane to run. As now the freight train begins on the inside. Cowgill actually got clear of Easter Day for fourth and, what is now third. But a big gap now forming those front two.
I think Beckman, similar to Chris Cowgill there, mission accomplished. I led my lap. Get away from me, because that might happen. Into the wall goes Beckman. That was a healthy hit. Hopefully not too much damage for that 17, as he's just going to let this field go by him. Oh, boy, and look who is in the back of the pack with him.
Looks like, yeah, both those guys, they got the job done, and now, I mean, they're going to be hoping for another caution, I think.
Yeah, I definitely think they will. And behind that, you see Lolis trying to recover from that incident on that restart. Lolis looked like he had speed to contend with Gibson. I mean, I'd venture as far to say the only person who may have had that, as Sanchez is going to duck to the inside of Easter Day, kind of just flirting with it. Not so much for Lolis. Lolis is not flirting. He's going to go for it. He's looking to the inside of the 12 of Panzarella here. He needs to get through this field quickly if he wants to have a shot at Cody Gibson. You cannot count on those yellow flags.
Yeah, Easter Day was not scared by that move to the inside. He said, if my spotter doesn't say Carlo, I'm taking my full line, brother.
And again, he does the same thing just the way you described. No Carlo? All right, then I'll take it. Panzarella and Lola still side by side. Lola's going to duck to the inside here, try to complete that pass. Easter Day and Sanchez figuring out that battle relatively quickly. Sanchez completing the pass. He's moved his way up to fourth. Backpack Racing looking unbelievably strong right now. This team, when they have it figured out, they are a force to be reckoned with. They are nearly unbeatable, and they work brilliantly together.
Although now you look, the side-by-side really kind of killing the momentum a little bit here as Easter Day and Sanchez starting to pull away.
Delgado with a great recovery clearly did use that fast repair, because that pace in that 14 truck is back. Delgado breathing down the neck of his DDIRL 40 Forever teammate. Yeah, we do have a car down pit road. That is Dylan Beckman, so there was damage clearly with that wall hit that we saw there on screen. So, again, he got those bonus points. Beckman did what he had to do. Loose moment for Delgado. Good save. But that will probably cost him a spot to look who's back again.
Stephen Kirby's back.
Yep. Don't tell your friends, because they're going to have panic attacks.
Yeah, you see he's got that gold trim. Do you think, he wants to watch?
Yeah, Steve Kirby clearly telling everybody, I'm a watch guy. I mean, I think Cody Gibson, clearly a watch guy so far. I think a few of these guys thinking, wow, I don't own very many watches. I'd love to own that. That would be maybe one of the coolest trophies I've ever had. And another guy's thinking, I like watches. I want that watch. Panzarella in the inside of Easter Day here. And in the meantime, Lolis got both of them. So Lolis just doing a great job there. Lolis has moved his way up in the top 5. And that team has made up 4 of our top 5 places we are in domination territory.
And tight squeeze there for Panzarella in front of Easterday.
Easterday
That's for 6th place.
having a way different run than that first one. I'm wondering if Easterday trying to conserve. We are on about lap, I want to say 8, maybe 7 of this run here. About 3 to 5 laps from now is where we really start to see that 95 come alive on that first run. So I'm curious to see what we see from Colton as this one goes on. Right now, nobody, including even Ybarra or, Lolis, still has some cars to go through. Sanchez next up for him, but no one having anything for Gibson right now, keeping a stronghold in that 2-second lead. As there it is, Lolis looking on the inside of Sanchez. Loose out of 1,
Ooh, wow.
as is Delgado.
Yeah, Lolis easily taking that spot. Those two teammates, I believe, so they're not going to fight each other for that just yet. But yeah, going back to Easterday back in 7th, I believe that's the last points paying position for the
It is.
stage. So he's going to
Good
need
point.
some giddy up here if he wants that. So he's got Stephen Kirby now, who's going to be breathing down his neck here over the next couple laps.
That is an excellent point, Dalton. You're right. With an 18 truck field, only 7 trucks will be getting those stage points. Those don't double here today. Those are standard, but still big to have, especially someone like Cody Gibson. That stage win would carry on to the chase, so that would be big for somebody like Gibson. Gibson right now, so much speed, but man, if he doesn't show up to more races, he might be even talking about that wild card rule if he's able to get a win. So we'll have to look into what Gibson's going to be like for the rest of the season, but that is big for that 5 truck if he can complete these next 5 laps up front. Behind there, you're right, Colton Easterday, he has his teammate, luckily a Golden Octopus teammate, an Octopi, if you will. So this could be a seamless transaction, but Easterday not loving the idea of giving up these stage points.
You know what though? I think maybe they see Sanchez a little bit off the pace, so maybe hoping that they can both get to him before that stage break in the next few laps.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that being the situation. Sanchez has had a lot of speed. He's a lot like the truck in front of him. Really quick on the short run, but struggling to put it together for the full 22, 23 laps these fuel tanks are going to ask out of you. As you can see right there, the 12 ultra loose out of 1 right there. That truck just having a really hard time figuring out this part of the racetrack. And you're kind of seeing that. You're seeing some guys struggle out of 4, some guys struggle out of 2 and 1. Everyone fighting their own battle here at the Brickyard. But Cody Gibson keeping it clean. Ybarra, his teammate, over in 2nd place, doing a wonderful job. Calgill holding off Lolis for the time being. Actually has a full 2-second lead over to Lolis right now. Lolis, I think, doing what he has to do to make up for that small error. I don't think there's any significant damage on the 83. If there is, that's a horrifying thought for the rest of this field with how much speed is still in that truck. But he's getting that track position back. Caution would fix everything, but in terms of running position, doing what he has to do.
Yeah, and Lolis now, as he kind of starts to try to track down Patrick. Oh man,
They're
that
loose at
tail,
1.
it looked like almost tail tapped the wall there. But yeah, Lolis, if he gets up to Cowgill here, that's going to maximize points for this backpack team. They're gonna get that 1, 2, 3 going into the stage, and then if this holds to the end of the race, get that 1, 2, 3. All of those positions paying out team points. That'll be huge for this team.
Yeah, that would be huge. So far, the team standings have been largely controlled by 44 Ever, the Daily Drivers Inc. team composing of Panzarella, Geyer, McGivern, and Delgado. That team has had a pretty sizable lead, but Backpack, Sim Racing World, or I probably just screwed that up. I'm going to make sure I didn't. Sim World Motorsports and Backpack, they've been knocking on that door, and a run like this is going to be huge for that team. And we're going to start looking closely at those team standings starting next week. I mean, those team standings, they're going to carry all the way through the chase, and they're not going to reset like the chase points will. So they're kind of like a Winston Cup or a modified Winston Cup format over there. And check this out. You see Ibarra starting to do some little IndyCar breaking the draft, yeah, through the backstretch, knowing that clearly a lot of speed in that 31 truck at Calgill. He is really reeled in that number 4 truck.
We're seeing some speed out of Cowgill once again here. In that podium spot, which he's gotten used to these last couple weeks. Not following Ibarra down there. Not, he's saying, come on, too early.
Yep.
I don't need that draft. Straight line into that corner.
And Ibarra saying, this is the stage. There's only 2 to go. He wants that second place. He wants that 1, too. Ibarra doing what he has to do right here. And I think shortly after this stage is over, I'm going to be curious to see how long these guys want to stretch it. With that caution, I think it kind of did change the mat. Oh, my goodness. Danny Sanchez got so loose out of 2 there. Good recovery from Sanchez, but man, that was almost huge for the 62 there. We almost did end up getting a stage caution. Again, there will be no caution for this stage end right here. But yeah, I wonder how much longer these guys want to push it. That lap 30 caution, I think, made this a little bit more simple for these drivers. I'm thinking maybe lap 51, 52, and just break this thing up, right?
Yeah, and it looks like Sanchez did end up holding on to that 6th position for the stage. Is that the stage this time?
One more time around. One more time around. So that is the, what do we call it? The green, white, checkered, white?
The
green, white, checkered, green?
Yeah, I don't even know what you call it. The green, white? I don't know how you do that.
But yeah, that is certainly what that's being waved. So Sanchez just has to hold on for one more set of corners, as does Kirby. Easterday has not given up too much ground to the 109 of Kirby. It looks like Kirby, while he did get that lap back, he also, I think, got to bring it down into the pits and put some fresh ones on it. So that's why you've also seen Kirby able to hang with this field, not even to stretch those tires too far, and he actually would have had to pit by now as well. So this race has really been saved. Just one caution, all Kirby needed. But there we go. That's going to do it for the stage. Cody Gibson's going to take home the stage win right there. As you see, second place goes to belong to Ibarra. Man, almost a photo finish there as Cowgill was real close, but Cowgill will be 3rd. Brandon Lois will be 4th. Zapan Zarella is going to bring home 5th place in the stage. 6th will belong to Sanchez, and 7th will be Steve Kirby. What a recovery by Kirby. Wow.
Yeah, crazy that those technical difficulties and all that happened. He's able to get back before the stage. You get stage points.
Unbelievable.
And now Kirby going to the inside here, looking for that 6th position.
Wouldn't be surprised for Sanchez not to fight too hard here. He's been so loose on the exits of these corners. You can see it there. That's going to allow Easterday even. Yeah, he might get a run here. We'll see. These tires, you can tell these guys are holding on for everything they got.
Panzarella down pit road.
Going to bring it down. That's very early is Panzarella. And oh my goodness, very close to speeding as well as the 12. Brings it down, not seeing any black flags yet. So the first one to bite in the top 5, Zap Panzarella behind him. It's going to be Chris Cowgill. No surprise there. Cowgill actually, we saw him stretch it. Oh, Cowgill into the wall there.
A wall.
More important not to speed, I'd say, hopefully, based on the size of that hit, but we'll see if he did both. We'll see if that brings more people down, or if the rest of the field says, oh, have fun with that, 12.
You know, it's a big track, so maybe not. I don't think Panzarella runs the risk of going a lap down here. He might just barely beat those leaders off a pit road. So we'll see where he cycles out here. But that's going to be clean track in front of him to just, kind of chew into that lead on fresh tires. Cowgill.
So Patrick Cowgill, hearing about what that 12 did, a couple cars behind him. Another great, oh my goodness.
Oh.
Sanchez in the wall.
Oh, no.
Big hit for Sanchez, and he puts the cone in the middle of the pits. So
a lot of guys doing that.
Something about those straight line pits. They are a lot more difficult than they look, and I can vouch for that. And here we go. Here's that blend we just talked about. Panzarella top of your screen. There he is, and there he is playing the backstretch just barely in front of Cody Gibson. But luckily, with that big tire advantage, doesn't really have much to worry about there. He will be able to drive away from Gibson, likely. Just got to get through a set of corners here with those loosey-goosey cold tires on this ultra-hot racetrack. But like you said, I think kind of what opens up those alternate strategies at a track like this is the risk, or I should say the lack of the risk of going a lap down.
Yeah,
Gibson going to leave it out.
Well, let's see.
Ibarra is going to hit here. Ibarra. We'll see if he has a cleaner entry than his teammates. He does. Wow, still as aggressive as it gets. Looks like Hillman's going to bring it down as well.
Delgado.
Yep, both of them. and all of Panzer, or I'm sorry, the Panzer, all of Daily Driver Zinc actually. So you got McGivern as well bringing it down. So all three of the other Daily Driver Zinc trucks in this race bringing it down that time. And Chris Cowgill did speed, as you see him re-entering the pits. Don't speed again, buddy.
In the words of, often in the words of driver Colton Easterday, oof.
Yep, the famous Colton Easterday quote. I think they have that on a t-shirt somewhere. So we'll see if this is enough for Cody Gibson. It's not. You have got to have a lot of confidence in the power of that and the speed of that truck to be stretching it that far. And it looks like Kirby's going to bring it down this time. Yes, he is, as is Easterday. Wow, almost an oof moment for Easterday. What an aggressive entry.
Yeah, we'll see. It's kind of hard to tell how many of these guys are kind of speeding coming in, but I guess we know either the next lap when they have to bring it back down, or if these guys get held here.
Right, exactly. And we'll continue to keep our eye on Gibson. And one thing that'll be interesting too is how different those 1 or 2 lap deltas are going to be between all these drivers up front. It's really a good mixed bag here. I'm seeing a lot of guys on 47, 48, 49. We'll have some on 50 there, and then I'm sure we'll get 1 or 2 on 51 here. Here we go from Cody Gibson. He's finally had enough. We'll see if Lolis has too. Aggressive entry from Gibson, but like we've talked about, that's where we've been seeing him get a lot of time. Lolis going to bring it down. Same thing there. Man, these guys know to get on and off pit road.
Yeah, I think both these guys coming in later, I think maybe just trying to make sure that what happened at Iowa doesn't happen again. These guys trying to maintain control of the race, come down as late as they possibly can, be on the freshest tires. And, that's how you control the race and, keep it simple.
And Zabin in the wall there. These are our first and second place cars. They're trying to stretch this. I think Zab's going to
let a lap.
He didn't. I was about to say that. It was so close, but Matthews actually did, from what I saw, cross the start-finish line before Zab did. Gibson did. In the pits, just by virtue of just that enormous lead. So if Zab wants to make this work, he'd either have to come down with Gibson, hope that Gregsby also comes down. Come down with Matthews. It's still very, very possible for Zab to lead this lap. We'll see what happens here. We'll see if Matthews has enough to keep it going, or both these guys have to bring it down. I'd be shocked to find out they can keep going, but they can. So Zab's going to lead this lap. Doesn't matter anyway.
So all of those SWM Black Wolf guys, mostly, at least in that shot there, running long here. You got Zab, Matthews, and Grigsby all running long. Cowgill's brought it down. Cowgill inherited what would be the lead once these guys come down.
Yeah, that
I don't know if he's got a lap yet.
I don't know either, so we'll see if this cycles out and he's able to, but oh man, you can just see the speed differential right there by virtue of raw speed and just the big tires differential. That is a full 3 laps between these two. And we'll see if he can fight Gibson at all here. He's going to try to put the squeeze on an exit, but it just isn't possible. Easy transaction there. Cody Gibson going to take the hypothetical lead of the race, still belonging to Cody Matthews. Oh, I'm sorry, Cody Matthews got it from Zab, so Matthews going to lead a lap there too. So some bonus points getting paid out here, and here comes Zab down to make his likely penultimate pit stop. There it is right there. So only 1, 2, that's Grigsby behind him, so Grigsby going to pit as well.
I think Lolis sped, because he's a lap down.
Oh no. Trying to find Lolis on my running order, and I think you may be right. There he is. It looks that way. We saw Lolis kind of lock it up on entry, and it appears that's what happened. Oh, brutal break for such a fast race truck.
So I think the only 2 caught by the speeding police are that 83 of Lolis and the 03 of Cowgill. As now, we just wait for Matthews to come in, and we see the we'll see the Cody to Cody transfer of the lead when that happens.
Yeah, as long as your name is Cody, you get to control this race right now. This on screen is Ibarra and Panzarella, and this is a 2-lap tire difference. And Ibarra has taken off about a second of a differential in a matter of 2-ish laps. So this delta right here you're seeing, that undercut, obviously very valuable. You saw it give Calgill a chance at the lead, but the other side of it, Dalton, man, it's brutal.
Yeah, he's on the oldest tires now, just kind of. And I mean, but you do see he's really only at risk of losing a couple positions thus far with Ybarra on him here. And then Stephen Kirby eventually, who will come into picture and threaten. But the rest of these guys are pretty far back. I believe it's like a 7-second delta to the rest of them. So it's still a good deal of room here.
Yeah, these deltas are going to be pretty fascinating to follow. Kirby having even newer tires than the two in front of him. Ibarra and Panzarella with 1 lap separating them, and then 1 lap newer than both of them is Kirby. So you'd think that would be possible. Right now, you can see Ibarra not really wanting to be impatient here, wanting to make sure that he can make this pass quick when he does go for it, knowing that some side-by-side action can definitely slow them down. In front of both of them is Calgill. Oh, he is. Matthews is in. You're right. There he is. Cody Matthews is going to finally bring it down. What a stretch by Matthews. Got to lead some laps. We'll see how that works out for him on the long haul. But Matthews going to give up the lead of the race to Cody Gibson. Cody Gibson is going to inherit a 2.7-second lead over Calgill, and that lead is only growing. It was only a couple laps ago where you saw him completing the pass on Patrick Calgill. So this may be the point in the race where Cody Gibson, if this thing is to stay green, can really start to check out on the field. Everything going his way right now. And we are starting to see a good amount of separation throughout this field. You see Easter Day breathing down the neck of Hillman over here. Behind them, you have Sanchez. These guys are a full 6 seconds behind the group of Panzarella, Ibarra, and then they're sitting about 3 seconds behind Calgill. So quite a bit of separation throughout this field right here. Panzarella loose at a 4 right there, and that may open the door up for Ibarra. We'll see if this is when he wants to take it.
Yeah, Panzarella was stupid loose there. We'll see. Oh, he's going to leave the inside. I don't know what was happening there. So we see, Ybarra going for the movie. Oh, big loose into the wall. I'm not sure if he had help there.
Panzarella, and Navarro getting together a little bit there. That's going to cost Panzarella a lot of time and a lot of health of that truck. Take a look and see how bad it is. Let's go to the what I like to call the truth cam. Oh yeah, that rear end dented in on the right side. Never fun. Likely going to hurt the pace of the 12. But not a time where you can pit, right, Dalton? You got to try to keep this thing simple if you can. So we'll see what that does for the pace of that 12. It looked like Ibarra, no harm, no foul. He's going to go on his way, giving up a little bit of time to Kirby. But certainly a bad situation for the 12.
Certainly a bad situation indeed. As I mean, this is a big track, so once again, you're not running the risk of going a lap down. You're just kind of hoping for a caution to come out here, so you can get that damage fixed. Because I think if you get that damage fixed, well, you know what? These guys still have one more pit stop, I believe. So he'll be able to use that fast repair. But yeah, at this point, he's just kind of got to tough it out on this damage.
Exactly.
Which, is unfortunate.
It's just a matter of limping that truck to the window, right? If you can, then that's what you do. A pit stop, an extra pit stop that doesn't change the outcome of the race is only going to hurt. So that's what I believe it's going to be like for the 12 here. As these two trucks, really I should say 3, Sanchez not far behind at all, really making quick work too. You can see that delta on the top left of your screen. Panzarella was part of that Ibarra group, now 4 seconds back of that. So the lap time's not what they once were. This battling, I'm sure, helping, but these two trucks putting down some fast laps right here. Easter Day and Hillman, look at that. Whoa! That was intense.
We've talked about the old guys we got, but these are two of our young guns right here.
Spry young guys.
Going at it.
Yeah, that's so true. The younger part of this league right here, Easter Day and Hillman, both in their 20s. You can combine their ages and it would still be less than a few of the guys in this league. But that's okay, because look at them putting on a show, and their lack of years in this earth is what puts on this entertainment, right, Dalton?
For sure. Who is that coming up on that? Is that Sanchez? Oh, man,
Yeah.
Sanchez loose in the background there.
We've been seeing that at this point in the run for that 62 is Sanchez. And shout out to the trucks not too far behind either. These two guys, McGivern and Delgado, DDI teammates, 44 ever teammates, working together, doing a good job controlling what they can, and really protecting 2 top 10 finishes right here for the 33 and the 14. So good job from these two as well, keeping those trucks clean.
Yeah, and it's much needed for the 44 ever front. Obviously missing Geyer today, so all of those guys are going to be contributing to that team point total today, and doing a good job in a very good position to hold on to those top 10s too. I think a good 10-second gap to 11th.
Yeah, that team led by the points leader right now, Panzarella, and the defending champions actually over in the MRL side of things as well. So that team, especially Dalton and Panzarella, very familiar with success as a team. So yeah, they were leaning heavily on that 33 and that 14 today, and so far so good for them. You saw right there, Hillman and Easterday easily completing the passes on Panzarella, as is Sanchez. Look at Panzarella just tank slapping through 1 and 2, just praying for this run to be over. I'm thinking the window is going to be somewhere around 23, 24 to go, and I don't think you're going to see that 12 in a second too soon once that we get into that window. So just trying to hold on until then. Easterday, throughout all that mayhem, really able to gap Hillman, so Easterday comfortably now finds himself in 5th place. And then we kind of skipped over this. Over in 4th, Stephen Kirby actually looking to the inside of Ibarra in the wall. Nice wall hit by Ibarra for sure. So Ibarra going to give up 3rd place to Kirby, and man, how about that? Losing connection, 2 laps down, 1 caution, and a chance at a watch still. Stephen Kirby, if this thing gets a caution, oh gosh, look out for that 109.
Yeah, and that's, I think that's the key, is if we get a caution, because, I mean, look at the gap even just between Gibson and Cowgill. Up to 8 seconds now. Gibson's just checked out. But I mean, we've seen that before, and we've seen it go wrong before. So we'll see if everything goes according to plan this time.
I hate this guy, Dalton. Is he even turning the wheel? Like, geez, this is on board with Stephen Kirby. Obviously kidding. I love you, Stephen, but the lack of wheel input. This guy is really who I point to when I think of long run speed. I think one of the best I've ever gone against. And man, it's just so obvious when you watch him do his thing, but it doesn't help me understand how the hell he's doing it.
It's the 3 C's: cool, calm, clean. He's just,
look at that.
Yeah, not a huge amount of wheel input, just driving off those back tires, just letting the car do what it needs to do.
And he's reeling in Cowgill with a purpose right now, is Kirby. So Kirby's setting his sights on that 2nd place. It'll be fun to see also once you start to see that dirty air play a role. Another thing I've been observing a little bit, Dalton, I always kind of, in my mind, kind of use that dirty air bubble. What, like 2 to 4 hundredths of a second is where I start thinking about it with a car in front of me or a truck in front of me, thinking like, okay, I got to be a little bit more mindful of the way I approach these corners. Not here, my friend. You're feeling that 7, 9 tenths back. It is brutal how early the dirty air affects you. So we'll see there. And you saw it there. You saw Cowgill get loose at a 1, and you saw him dump that ugly, disgusting air onto Kirby, and he had to deal with it.
Yeah, if you look over at F1, around the 1 second delta is when the DRS starts kicking in. With these cars, you have evil DRS in the dirty air that kicks in when you get too close. So kind of the opposite. Well, I guess in F1 you still have dirty. Whatever. I'm rambling.
I think DRS in NASCAR stands for dumb residual speed. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that.
Stands for.
You don't have anything better. There's no way.
I'll think of one.
Oh, you have until lap 75.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair, I think. Long laps around
we're
here.
On lap 65 now. Sanchez still just kind of hanging with Hillman here. Maybe just kind of using that. Ooh, big loose.
Sanchez must have he must have another career in drifting, because that dude is comfortable being sideways. We have seen it time and time again, and for me personally, when I have a moment like that, I'm like, okay, I'm dialing that thing back for a handful of laps. Sanchez is just like, okay, harder next lap. And that lead is ballooning, Dalton. But if you go to second place now, Kirby, gotta have Calgill feeling like he's on borrowed time here.
Yeah, certainly looking like it here. Kirby closing the gap. But over the next several laps here, we're probably going to start seeing that last set of pit stops start.
Oh yeah, I think we're about 2 to 3 laps to start seeing it begin, I should say. My biggest point of curiosity will be obviously Cody Gibson with that 10-second lead. How much does he want to use that? Here we go, though. Kirby looking in the inside of Calgill. How much does Calgill want to fight this? Looks like a decent amount. No, he doesn't. He's going to give the spot to Kirby. Stephen Kirby with, I mean, we it seems like it week in and week out, we're saying the best recovery we've ever seen, but this has got to be, I don't know how you beat this one, Dalton. This is unreal what Kirby is doing right now.
Absolutely unreal. So you see Kirby now in second place. I mean, probably too late to do anything.
I got to stop looking at Sanchez.
Probably too late for any of these guys to do anything with Gibson now, as the gap has ballooned to 11 seconds. Their only real hope here is for some kind of mistake on pit road.
Yeah, I got
to have a shot at this.
I gotta agree with you there. I don't know where you find 11 seconds, and almost I'm feeling like, I mean, it's not gonna happen this run. Kirby pit a lap before Gibson did. I just can't see him being faster. I can't see anyone being faster than Gibson right now on older tires. But man, and on this last run, if they do pit on the same lap, Kirby's gonna be kicking himself, or kicking his computer modem, I should say, thinking, oh my gosh, I had the speed to win this thing, because maybe Kirby might be content in second, thinking, well, that 5 truck is ridiculous anyway. We'll have to see here, and we'll have to see when these guys pit, but it's going to be close to impossible to find 10 seconds, as Panzarella doing his best Sanchez impression right there as they come out of turn 4. Not quite as pretty as Sanchez. As you can see, he goes all the way down. As Sanchez really starting to breathe down the neck of Hillman. 24 to go here, Dalton. This is when we were anticipating starting to see the window be open. And you can tell by the way the majority of these trucks are driving that it cannot come a moment too soon.
Can you see those gaps actually further back between Panzarella, McGivern, and then Delgado back to Matthews have cut down as I think as that tire advantage has started coming to play. But of course, we're just now coming up to the next set of pit stops, I think, coming up here in the next couple laps. So, you know, not really much room for that to matter here. So we'll see what happens here coming this set of pit stops.
Not to mention that Panzarella is, yep, there it is. Right when this window opened, that 12 truck wanted to get rid of all that damage and those tires and everything that came with it. But when we saw Panzarella kind of try to do something cute there and undercut the field didn't really let him get away with it. They all pit about a lap or two afterwards. Panzarella pitting on lap 47. The longest one who ran that run in terms of the lead lap cars was Gibson for 51, and that one barely matters due to how fast he is, so we can even go down to Kirby on 50. So all these guys, they got to pit soon just based on fuel percentage right now. I don't think they can run much longer. We'll have to see. And also on top of that, Dalton, we've talked about how many sets of tires these guys have available to them. No reason to. And on that note, Kirby. Here comes Kirby. Wow. And again, I mean, could you be more perfect getting in? And here comes Easter Day as well.
And I mean, this is what you need to do if you're going to have any shot. I'd imagine Gibson's going to probably come in the next couple laps, so they're not going to gain that much time on the undercut. But at the same time, you know, this is just what you have to do at this point to even have a shot at it.
And here comes Panzarella re-entering next to Ibarra. Last time these two saw each other, things didn't end too well. We'll see how it goes this time. Ibarra on older tires, Panzarella on brand new tires. He's going to hold on to the inside and take it for himself.
Hey, you know what? For NASCAR fans, DRS actually might stand for Denny really sucks.
Oh, God. Good job.
That was an easy one.
I mean, duh. And here comes Patrick Calgill. I'm going to bring it down. He was running second place, so that is going to be an important pit stop to see. And that, I think, is what might want to give Gibson that go-ahead. Here comes Daniel Sanchez as well, going to bring it down. Sanchez has done a great job recovering, and you can see how much he was slipping and sliding around. So Sanchez, I'm sure, eager to get those tires off. And this will be likely the shortest run of the day, shortest schedule run, I should say. We did get that short run due to caution, but only 20 laps for someone like Sanchez or Calgill here. They're going to have to do, and even shorter for Gibson. We'll see again how much longer. We're going to keep our eye on this 5 truck. How much longer does he want to do it? And here we go. Gibson going to bring it down this time. This is the last chance anyone has, and that's a sight for sore eyes if you're not a Cody Gibson fan, because that was a perfect entry.
Yeah, he's not going to try to do anything cute. He doesn't need to. Doesn't
watch
need
guy,
to overextend himself on. Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't need to overextend himself on entry. I mean, he's going to come out of pit road probably with still a considerable gap on this field.
He will. I certainly think he will. It probably had, I mean, even with the Delta being 2, and I don't think it's 2 for Cody Gibson. It's probably about 1.5 if we're being honest. His lap, I keep an eye on his lap times on the later ends of the run, Dalton, and they're nonsense. So, I mean, it's not even that bad when he runs it late, and here it is. This is Alex Hillman. He's going to actually inherit the lead of this race. Greg McGivern also running it longer than most. McGivern in second place now. Cody Matthews, we've seen Matthews been doing this for pretty much this entire race. He's up to third place right now by virtue of strategy. Behind him is Glenn Grigsby. He's already brought it down. You can tell right there by the speed differential. Looking all over Gibson trying to get that. We'll see if Hillman can bring it around and get that lap led. I don't think that 08's been able to lead a lap yet here today.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys who maybe, just too far back to really be in contention for the watch, maybe hoping for a late caution here, and also just trying to, salvage what they can, get those double bonus points, and come out of this a little better than they thought they would.
So there's McGivern as well. There's Cody. There's Zab. Here comes the start-finish line. That's not it right there. That's the restart zone, and Zab is gonna lead the lap. So, Hillman runs it long Matthews. And doesn't get the lead. Oh, Matthews, I apologize. Cody Matthews is going to lead the lap. I'm so sorry. Matthews leads the lap, leads another lap. He has been on top of that strategy all day today. So, yeah, not even a chance there, I'm sorry, for Hillman. Hillman running it long, but not getting the reward for it. Not getting those double bonus points to lead a lap there was Hillman. So, I mean, granted, he will be able to go as hard as he wants to finish off this race. He's still going to have a set of tires likely available to him. So that's a good situation there for Hillman. So we'll see where he cycles through, as we're only going to have about 18 to go next time Matthews brings it back around. Matthews and Zab will have to bring it down one more time. They do not have enough fuel to finish this race. A caution right now would be a blessing for both of those drivers and put them in a great situation. As you see Zab at the top of your screen, he's going to bring it down. There is Mark Zabek right there. So there is the final pit stop for the 11 race truck. So only Cody Matthews now. And then Cody Gibson really just has to drive in a rectangle for 18 laps.
I'm just looking a little further down the order. It looks like coming in early actually allowed Panzarella to leapfrog Sanchez and Hillman to get back up into what will be the 6th position once this cycles through.
Yeah,
6th or 7th. Yeah, 6th place.
That should be, yep, as we see a little bit more cycling through with Zab right there. That would equate to 6th once Cody Matthews brings it down. Sanchez with 2 lap newer tires than Panzarella has, but Panzarella with a full 6-second gap right now. So we'll see what he's able to do with that. 4 seconds behind him with another 2 lap advantage is Alex Hillman. There he is. He has just exited the pits and on those very fresh tires. So Hillman gonna be trying to reel in Sanchez. Potentially that could be a helpful aspect for Panzarella holding on to that eventual 6th place finishing position. Because, yeah, the points leader of the 12 right now, that after that wall hit with the incident with Ibarra, that is essentially what the focus should shift to for a points leader like that, especially someone like Cody Gibson, just in complete control. He's making things pretty simple. He has a 9-second delta to Kirby, but wow, I mean, I'd be remiss to say, Dalton, that is a full 2 seconds lower than before the cycle.
Yeah, it didn't. It helped a little bit.
No, it doesn't.
But I mean, an inconsequential amount in the grand scheme of things here. with how big of a lead it was. Gibson's about to take this lead back on track, even.
Oh man,
I think he's about to just pass Cody Matthews for the lead. But once again, the lead will transfer from Cody to Cody.
Cody Matthews praying to any god that he believes in right now for a caution, because that would fix everything. Everyone would likely bring it down for 4 tires. But Gibson, I mean, with those fresher tires and just the speed that 5 truck has in it, I mean, that 10's on borrowed time, and here it comes right here. I was going to say maybe 1 or 2 more laps, but probably not even that. That 5 is a rocket ship. And there it is. That is the pass for the lead the hard way by Cody Gibson. He is going to inherit the lead of this race. He's going to take 15 to go this time around. He'll be 15 laps away from being the first ever 365K winner and taking home the DDI timepiece. Cody Gibson doing, I think, what we were saying was potentially overdue every time we've seen this 5 truck, Dalton.
Yeah, he's still got a hope for this to run green, but you know it's looking like a foregone conclusion at this point that he's going to hold on to this thing. Really just has to
navigate these
really
cars.
just has to navigate these cars, navigate lap traffic and just run a clean line, just avoid damage, and that'll be all she wrote.
You see a class move by Grigsby there, giving Gibson the preferable line and also making sure that he can enter 3 by himself, not having to worry about a car below him. So a class act there from Greg Grigsby. What I always say to these drivers, whether or not you're getting lapped on speed or just things didn't go your way today, that's the way to be, because there's no reason to ever think, as you see Matthews top of your screen, going to finally bring it down here, going to cross the line for 14 to go, and Matthews is going to make his last pit stop. But back to Grigsby real quick, and really anyone that is getting lapped among this field of just class drivers. This league, Dalton, starting to look so unbelievably, I don't even want to say top heavy, but just so freaking talented. I'm looking at 1st and 9th, and that's no disrespect for anyone 10th on back, but gosh, any of those guys could have won today. Any of those guys have put down a lap, a fastest lap that can compete with Cody Gibson. It's just been a matter of putting together a full race of just absolute perfection. But there's no reason that if you're a Grigsby not to think that you'll be a Gibson a year or 2 down the road if you just keep putting in the time, keep putting down the laps, and keep driving around guys like Cody Gibson. It's contagious, Dalton. We've seen that. We've been 20th place drivers before. We've been multiple laps down on speed. And the reason why you drive with respect is because you're going to be Cody Gibson before you know it.
For sure. And it really depends on the league too, because you can be running with those really fast guys, those aliens. I mean, probably any one of us, could be in that situation in a league we run in, tomorrow or the next day. And yeah, it really is just about, it's a respect thing, right?
It is. And it's, even when you don't run out front, act like, fake it till you make it, right? Act like you know what it's like to run out front, and act like you know what it's like to always be up front. And because you're gonna appreciate those guys down the road. I always feel like everything in this is temporary. It's always based on how hard you work, how much passion you have, and how much practice you put in. But I mean, I think everyone in this league, or actually I know for a fact everyone in this league has immense amount of talent. Talent so great to the point where it does come down to how much work you put in. And really, I mean, a lot of it too, just how much time is available to you, for being honest too.
Well, hey, look, I'll tell you what. Did you happen to see any of the highlights from the
Spa 24?
From the like the Coca-Cola iRacing series, like the pros, which I believe raced yesterday at this very track.
Yeah, and I've watched the DJE video of great YouTube follow if you guys don't follow him in terms of track guides. Oh my gosh, Danny Sanchez.
For about the
1,000th time. I need to take the camera off this man, as entertaining as it is. But anyway, yeah, he's a great Bible for track guides. For those of you who don't know, DJE on YouTube, shout out to him. But yeah, he did an interview with a bunch of the Coca-Cola guys, and they were talking about how much work they have to put in, and oh boy, it's not for the weak.
Well, I think what I was more gonna say is
they were alluding to, actually,
I was alluding to the fact that I don't know. Some guys might tell you that the respect even up there has gone down like such a great amount, and you know you have you can see that in the last kind of big just cluster F of a wreck that happened at the end of that thing, and yeah, you're just so I think I'm grateful that even down in a league with an iRating cap of 3,000, you can you can find a race. You can race with respect, and more respect than those guys up at the top, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Dalton. You and I, especially, we've been up and down the iRating spectrum, right? We've been locked in top splits for months at a time, and yeah, I'd heard about it, but I didn't believe anybody that the racing etiquette in top splits would get worse. I was like, no, you guys are stupid. No, it won't. Yeah, it does. It's a funny thing. I mean, if you need more proof, look at the real truck series compared to this truck series. These guys race a lot better. Look at Hillman following Sanchez down in IndyCar style. Good stuff here. Good example of that between these two drivers here, Sanchez and Hillman, dueling it out here on screen for 7th place. But yeah, I completely agree with that, Dalton. A higher iRating does not indicate racing IQ. It doesn't indicate cleanliness. It doesn't indicate respect. And it doesn't indicate good racing, even, if I'm being honest. And I think, in my opinion, what the problem with that is they all think they're better than the other people on the track with them, which you kind of have to feel that way. But I think in a way that's not as, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but not as foundational as what you see in a league like this, where that respect is there and you want to be like that person instead of just wanting to beat them, if you understand that difference.
I think I think it's the company you keep too. Like we've cultivated a good.
Oh my goodness!
Just these guys, man. These guys going on, and I mean, this is some respectful racing too. Oh man, Hillman going in deep there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that gives us a couple of laps to talk about this before Hillman catches him again.
But I think we've cultivated a group of just really really good respectful racers, and the guys up in that top series right now, I think just it's the kind of thing where everybody's racing that way because the guys around them are racing that way.
Right.
And I think everybody races with respect here because everybody is racing each other respectfully here.
That's a really good point. The precedent is really really high, and it's really really well enforced by these drivers. No one really wanted to do anything uncharacteristic because it really does become a slippery slope. Also, this league, a lot of these guys in this league are from, we've talked about it a lot, are from MRL and BRL, the Bonfire Race League and the Moonlight Racing League. A lot of them also from the PRL and from Sim Racing World, or SimWorld Racing, I'm sorry. So a lot of handful of leagues here, but the only league out of those, to my knowledge, that has a penalty system is the PRL. And you can point to guys like Kirby, Easterday, Patrick Calgill, Panzarella, Geyer, who came from PRL, but they're also MRL regulars. Panzarella and Geyer being, as you see, here we go. Hillman looking to the inside of Sanchez. Will this be the time? Also, forgot to mention, Easterday completed the pass on Calgill. So Easterday moves himself into a podium position. What a brilliant drive from the 95. Easterday just, talking about PRL, man, he is a totally different person, unrecognizable from the driver of the 95 in PRL. He's such a mature driver now. He's he really combined that raw speed he's always had with a newfound maturity on track, and it's been fun to watch. These two, however, very mature, very fast, and very fun to watch, and it's been very, very similar for Hillman as well. But I completely agree. These drivers have done such a good job of enforcing the driver code here, and also being respectful of the penalty system. It's a very lax penalty system here in this league. We haven't seen anyone be affected by it in terms of a no quali, but it exists. You can't drive without respect here and not face repercussions, and these drivers constantly showing how aware of that they are.
Yeah, I think when we first set out to kind of make that code, it was really more about punishment for repeat offenders than anything else. Because we know mistakes happen, And so it's really just about guys. Oh,
and mistakes
wow.
do happen there as Hillman gets tight on the entry of one. I hear him keying up. He's apologizing to Sanchez, and he says, "Take it back, Sanchez. Take it back."
Yeah.
Wow. So some IndyCar maneuvers at an IndyCar track.
And what were we just talking about? The respect, man. Like that's
right.
That's such
the
a respectful
code.
move.
The code.
Be like, yeah, I messed up. Have that back. You know.
Yep, I didn't earn that pass. Let me earn it. And Sanchez saying, "Okay, let's do this. Five more to go." Wow, eventful moment there. That could have been so bad. And oh my goodness, is that the last thing that this gentleman right here wants to see?
Yes, sir. Now that he has cultivated a 14-second lead.
Yeah, you are correct.
Just about. That's almost no, not quite half the track. Not even close to half the track.
It's about a quarter. Feels like half the track.
He has half laps up to, I think, the top 6.
Yeah,
the top 6 is a half lap away from him at this point.
Yeah, Panzarella 30 seconds back. That's more than half a lap. So just an absolute beatdown. It's kind of like what may have happened at Iowa if Gibson had enough fuel to finish the race. That is no such problem today. And man, we have not touched on it since the speeding penalty that you observed, Dalton, but Brandon Lolis is just in front of him, and what could have been today for Lolis? So much speed in the 83, a small mistake on pit lane, no caution to help save him. He is on the lead lap. That would really, really help at the 83, but that such thing has not happened yet. There is only going to be 3 to go this time around. So Lolis, he's going to finish in 13th, and he's going to come home with some really, really good stage points, coming in 2nd place in that stage, I believe. So not a bad day by any means for Lolis, but actually, no, Lolis was part of that incident, so I think he actually ended up 4th in the stage. I'm sorry about that. I think that was Ibarra who was 2nd in the stage, but Lolis not going to end up, unless we get a caution in the next 4 miles, with a finish indicative of the amazing amount of speed that 83 truck had today.
Yeah, and now he's in a position where he has to that team kind of has to be picked up by the other 3. Gibson leading the way, Ibarra down in 5th, Sanchez in 7th, and that's just the way things have kind of got. We were looking at this early on, thinking we might see a 1-2-3 from those guys, but just little errors here and there, keeping that from happening.
Yeah, the Golden Octopi really executing better than anyone else today. That isn't named Cody Gibson. Cody Gibson right now with an enormous lead, obviously, but Kirby and Easterday, teammates on the Golden Octopus racing team. And I mean, we've talked a lot about Kirby's recovery today. He has been considerably slower than Gibson today, which honestly, if I'm Kirby, that might be help him sleep at night tonight, knowing that maybe he didn't have anything for that 5 anyway. But still an incredible finish in store here with 2 to go here for Stephen Kirby. He was disconnected at one point in this race. It looked like there was no way he was going to finish in the lead lap, and here he is in 2nd place with his teammate behind him in 3rd. So this is going to be a big points day for the Golden Octopi. 4th place, Patrick Calgill. We've been talked about him enough today for just how exceptional he's been. He's been threatening to have a chance at this win all day. I think maybe even the reason why he's not going to get that podium finish is maybe getting a tiny bit greedy towards the end, trying to have a chance at that win against Gibson. I don't see why not. Calgill had so much speed in that 31, probably trying to really protect that track position. Not quite working out, I'm sure, the way the 3rd place points sitter wanted it to, but still going to be a great points day. He's sitting, he's 2nd in points, just in front of Hillman. Hillman has not completed that pass on Sanchez yet. There he is right here. So that actually will be a great points day for Hillman. And then back to our points leader, Panzarella. This battle of Sanchez and Hillman has been a blessing in disguise for that 12 truck, as he has been able to really hold that time differential, even with those older tires. So Panzarella looking like he's going to salvage that earlier incident and come home with the 6th place, as the white flag has been taken, believe it or not, by Cody Gibson, and he's already in the backstretch, Dalton.
Yeah, I wonder. Probably not going to lap his teammate here. To let him make the full lap around, unless Lolis decides he's done and just decides to get lapped. But yeah, into 3
and
out of 4.
and it was overdue, but now he will be able to set his clock anytime he wants because he's the owner of the first ever DDI timepiece and the first ever DDI 365K crown jewel winner at this race at Indianapolis. Brickyard is Cody Gibson in absolutely dominant fashion. Second place, likely crossing the start finish line now. Yup, is Stephen Kirby. What a recovery from Kirby as he crosses the yard of bricks there. He's going to come home in second place. His teammate, Colton Easterday, is going to hold on for third. Patrick Calgill going to bring home a solid top 5 over in fourth. Yeah, Ibarra going to be in fifth. A great run today from Ibarra. And sixth going to belong to Zach Panzarella. Excuse me, I just had to sneeze there. That was like the loudest sneeze of my life, Dalton. Seventh place going to belong to Sanchez. It sounded like I just screamed at the top of my lungs like, no, why sixth? Seventh and eighth going to belong to Hillman. Never able to complete that pass on Sanchez. And then rounding out the top 10 will be Grant McGivern. He's going to come around here in fourth place. I got to say the Deltas in this, or at turn 3, I'm sorry. The Deltas in this race are crazy. And Matthews, yeah, Matthews looking like he's going to get 10th over Delgado here. Completing the pass. Yeah, Cody Matthews brings home the top 10. Juan Delgado going to finish 11th. Hard fought finish for Delgado. Zab, one of those alternate strategies, he will bring it home in 12th. And there it is, the celebration for Cody Gibson. What a race, though.
Hard to keep it out of the wall with these burnouts. That's a pretty narrow front stretch, but
don't ask me how to do it.
Yeah, there we go.
That's how you do it.
That's where you want to be. That's going to be the money shot for the pictures right there.
Yep. Get that evidence for Mr. Drugstore Cowboy. Let's take a look at this starting order here in the first ever DDI 365K. Taking home the win and the first of the season. This guy has led more laps than anyone else this year, and he finally parks it in victory lane. Cody Gibson, the winner at Indianapolis. Second place, he was disconnected. He was 2 laps down. It didn't matter. Stephen Kirby going to finish in second place. His teammate for Golden Octopus Motorsports going to come home in third, Colton Easterday. Fourth place, super solid day for Patrick Calgill, the sponsored driver for Daily Drivers Inc., but the teammate of SWM. Great points day for them. Fifth place belonged to Brandon Ibarra, and sixth, the guy that they had a little bit of a run in halfway through this race, Zach Panzarella, going to bring it home sixth. Our pole sitter and points leader going to come home sixth place today. Daniel Sanchez, Mr. Driftmaster, Ken Block over there in seventh place. Alex Hillman, he was quick all day. He ran it long at the end, and he was not able to complete that pass. Hillman going to finish eighth. Grant McGivern, super solid day from the Daily Drivers Inc. 44 ever truck driver. He's going to bring home a top 10 for his near perfect race. McGivern not really putting a foot wrong all day, and he's going to bring it home ninth. 10th place, Cody Matthews. He was on the alternative strategy all day, and he has a 10th place to show for it. A top 10 for the first ever DDIRL winner at Daytona, Cody Matthews. Going to round out the top 10.
And down 11th, we have Juan Delgado, who had a great qualifying time. Just didn't have the long run pace this race. Down to 11th. 12th, we got Mark Zab. 13th, Brandon Lawless, who ran into that. I think he got caught by the speeding police. And then 14th and 15th got Grigsby and Chris Calgill, who both were on that alternate. Or wait, no. It's Calgill and Beckman. No, Grigsby wasn't on that alternate strategy. Yeah, Grigsby down in 14th place. 15th, Calgill, who was on that alternate strategy, stayed out to lead a lap. Dylan Beckman was the other car that was on that strategy. I think he ran into some damage, and then had to park it. And then Ryan Newman, the source of our only caution today, after that brutal hit, brings it home 17th. And you see Tommy Fox down there, but I believe he was unable to grid.
Yeah, Tommy Fox going to get points for a start and park today. Not going to get those bonus points that would have normally came home with that, but going to get the start and park points. So no harm, no foul for Tommy Fox there. I'm going to go ahead and get our updated standings pulled up for us in just a minute here. But next week, we'll talk about next week real quick. We're going to a place that I quite like, Dalton. Ever heard of Kentucky Speedway?
I've heard of it.
I kind of like that place.
Yeah. I like that place too.
Yeah, what are you about to say?
Well, I was about to say, I don't know, I was about to tie in the fact that I kind of wish they put. I kind of wish we put it after the Auto Club race, so that we could say that we're going from Fontucky to Kentucky.
Oh, very, very nice. Oh, God. Next
Because they
year.
call Fontana Fontucky sometimes, but
I like that. Next year for sure. Because, yeah, I mean, how do we pass up that opportunity? I actually got to broadcast a race at The Rock yesterday, and you'd have been so proud of all the Rock references I made, Dalton. Like, I didn't miss a single opportunity. I even got Know Your Role and Shut Your Mouth in there.
did you show up for like the most massive storyline of the year and then like make yourself
And
a
then
big part
just
of
bail?
it, and then just dip and not show up at all?
No, I'm not that much of a dick.
Well, and we are on the after hours part of this of this stream, where we we can now say whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, it's Netflix. It's Netflix DDIRL now, Dalton. All right, so let's take a look at these updated standings. Again, that drop race is in effect now. So what you see is what you get in terms of taking a look at those races you need to start. Again, you need 7 races to even qualify for the chase. But not just that, it's going to kind of be, I think, not as unpredictable as it was leading up to that drop race taking effect. So, with that said, Panzarella going to hold on to that point lead. He's not actually going to give up too much, only giving up a handful of points to Patrick Galgill. Galgill 30 points behind Panzarella for that second spot. Alex Hillman's going to hold on to third as well. Another consistent run from Hillman's enough to do that. So he'll be 38 points behind Panzarella, only 8 behind Calgill, however. Cody Matthews, with that 10th place finish, actually going to move up in points today. Cody Matthews now finding himself in 4th place and only 7 behind Hillman. And here's where things get really interesting. Stephen Kirby, with the full 2 races less than someone like Panzarella, Calgill, or Hillman, is up in the thick of it. 61 points back from the, 57 points from the lead. But he has every, all the ability in the world to take that championship, that regular season championship, and he's looking real good for the chase already. Same goes for Daniel Sanchez as he continues to put together those consistent runs. And it's really a consistent story for 7th place too with Easter Day. He has that win, no win you're in, but those points helping him out a lot in the 3rd place finish like today. Not going to hurt at all for Easter Day, as he is now looking good for the chase. Cody Gibson, he was on towards the bottom. That is crazy, is it not, Dalton? I was thinking Cody Gibson with that win today might be one of our wild card type guys, but he's already looking like he can do this on points. He just has to focus on showing up. We have 4 races left in the season. Cody Gibson can only miss one of those. Moving down the order, the last 2 spots if the chase were to start today would belong to 44 ever drivers of Dalton Geyer, who unfortunately missed today, and McGivern with his perfect attendance schedule. McGivern has a 5-point buffer to Lolis right now, and we know how much speed Lolis has. Tommy Fox with those start and park points today, he's only in 12th. He's close there, and then behind there, it's just an absolute hornet's nest of hungry drivers who are just begging for great finishes that are indicative of their speed. Christopher Calville, Zab, Grigsby, Juan Delgado, Zach Hillman, who we missed today as well. Hillman, someone that we expect to see in that chase. Jonathan Case-Beer, someone that's been missed the past couple of weeks. Dylan Beckman with a good run today. So everything's still to play for. You have Ryan Newman down there, a full-timer in this league. Edward Peltz, a full-timer in this league. Yabara, who had a great run today. This thing is anything but over to see who goes to the first ever DDIRL chase, Dalton.
Yeah, first ever DDIRL chase, but also, we're going to have that best of the rest shaping up as well as we go. And, they're going to have a chase of their own to do. I think just that's going to be a lot of fun to keep track of as we go into that chase, into that 2-week break. I don't know if you have the schedule ready.
Oh, I do.
But,
well,
yeah, well.
Hold on, let me see how bad this is, Dalton. I'm nervous. That's not that bad. There's the schedule.
Okay, cool. Yeah, as you see, only 4 races left in this regular season. Man, time flies, huh?
It really does, dude. I can't believe it.
And then we have those 2 exhibition races, which honestly, we'll see how much attendance we get on those.
Those will be fun, though.
That'll just be for fun. Yeah.
Hey, it's a great way to spend a Wednesday night.
I don't think we'll be broadcasting those, but yeah, it'll still be just a way to have fun.
Yeah, we'll see about that. If we were to, it'd probably be together after the fact. But yeah, we got a great rest of the regular season. And then we have that 2-week exhibition run, and then the chase starts. Super excited about that. I don't think we could have asked for a better first DDI 365K. Super happy to have kept it as intimate as we did this first time with the full timers. The guys who have made this league what it is are the ones who I felt like deserved a shot at that watch that I was really excited to learn that so many of these guys in this league wanted. So happy to be giving that away to Cody Gibson, a very, very deserving driver. And can't wait to get his name engraved in the back of that thing. And do this again next year, Dalton. I'm expecting a massive running order. We did say, so I'll tease this a little bit, this race will be open to the public next year. We did have, like we said, we had a lot of people reaching out to be a part of this race, so we decided to keep it intimate, keep it with the full-timers of this league. But next year, there will be an entry fee to be in this race if you are not full-time in this league, but it will be available to you. It cannot be your first DDI 365 or DDIRL race. You'll need to have done at least one, whether it be an exhibition or just a one-off. Can't be our first time meeting you, but if you are not full-time in this league, there will be a $5 entry fee to run this race and have a shot at the watch next year. And every year we run this race, and with the more this league grows, the more financial supporting, the more sponsors we get, the nicer the things we can get are. The watch we're giving away here today, I'll put it on screen again. I'm really proud of this thing. It's a beautiful watch. Again, if you're a watch nerd, you understand what Japanese quartz movement is. Affordable, really nice movement. You understand all the parts that make up this watch and make it nice. But I want to take it a step further. I'd like to give you guys a watch worth $500 next year. And the best way to make that possible is to continue to grow this league, continue to grow these crown jewel races, and continue to show people what makes DDIRL so much different. And so far, Dalton, I'm not going to lie, I'll be cocky for a second, so much better than every other league that we're seeing right now. This league is just putting on a show, and we gushed over the cleanliness and the respect shown for long enough. But just cannot say enough good things about this league, about all these drivers who are showing up week in and week out, and we're getting closer to the first chase. Can't wait to see what that's like. Can't wait to see who our first champion, our first best of the rest champion is, if that wild card comes into play. A lot of exciting things going on here in this league, here on Vortex Racing Network. We're going to be here with you guys Monday through Thursday pretty soon. So we have a full schedule coming up, so make sure you're subscribed to this channel, watching the BRL, the MRL, and the DDIRL do their thing here on the best racing network on YouTube. We are so proud of all the incredible drivers that we are showcasing here, and just having the best time. Any final thoughts before we say goodbye to all these beautiful people, Dalton?
Yes. You haven't told them about the hatch, though.
The hatch?
Yeah, the hatch on the island. They have to go into the hatch, and they have to press the button every 42 minutes, or else it's going to explode. And that's another part of this, and that'll be worth 10 bonus points for anyone who does it.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
no, anyway.
Always just a gem of your last words, Dalton. Always.
You know, I was really searching for it there.
You found it. You found it, my friend. Well, I mean, DDI After Hours isn't just profanity. It's also just our brains going off the edge. So, with that said, longest race of the season, but these guys put on a show, and you wouldn't know by how well they are able to drive for such a long time. Only one caution. Man, cannot just gush enough about this racing. It's been so great to see. Next week, we're going to an unbelievable track that is sure to put on a show. Probably my favorite in the entire service, Kentucky Motor Speedway. I cannot wait to get there. But for today, thank you all for joining us at the Yard of Bricks here to Indianapolis. Such an iconic racetrack, and I think an iconic race to match the DDI 365K. The first annual edition is in the books, and Cody Gibson is taking home the first ever timepiece. Congratulations to you, Cody, and we will see you all next Wednesday in Kentucky. You guys have a great night. Thank you.